You're listening to the Empire Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Small Screen Temple, right here on the Empire Network, live streaming on channel 1138. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you guys this fine evening. We don't have a whole lot in the form of TV news this week, but we still got a whole lot to talk about. I'm your host this evening, McMahon. As always, it is a pleasure to be here with all of our fine listeners. And joining us, as always, here in the temple is our panel of esteemed colleagues. We missed you last week, but let's give a big round of applause to DP. How you doing, DP?
I'm doing better than I was last week. Glad to be back.
We missed you. And as always, joining us on the panel, Evo, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. And finally, rounding out our panel of esteemed colleagues, Sage, how you doing?
I'm doing, man. I'm doing and chewing, you know. You know what I'm saying? Holmes?
Not really, but
no.
I heard chewing's a bad habit.
It is. Just ask dogs. Just saying. Just putting that out there.
A dog that chews is probably not a good dog to have. I can't imagine their lifespan being very long.
I didn't pick that up right away, and then it came to me, oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
One of those nights.
Little tardy to the party, but that's okay.
No, it's just been one of those days.
Yeah, better late than never.
Right.
So let's get right into it. There was a report that came out this week. We're going to start off with the Dead Zone, The Walking Dead, that claims that 8 characters from the group of good guys between now and the end of the season are going to bite the dust, and most of them at the hands of Negan. I'm going to pass it around the table. I know McMahon's not caught up, but he can still give his 2 cents. Is 8 characters in half a season too much? Let's start with Adam.
You can never have too much death.
Well, I guess that's short and sweet and to the point. Let's send her over to DP.
What was the question again?
I feel like we're having a Kylo Ren SNL moment right now. There was a report that surfaced this week that 8 characters from the group.
I'm on track now.
Yeah.
I think 8's too much. Why, you ask? Well, that's a good question, because Negan, I don't see going to appear until the final episode of this season, so they're going to kill off 8 people in one episode. It's way too much.
Well, they got away with that much killing before. Just
never 8 in a group,
8.
though. Never.
Well, it wasn't 8 main people. It was like nobodies. Like
Fizz?
When the governor attacked the prison, a lot of people died there.
Yeah.
Normally, I'd say no. Normally I'd say yes. 8 people, half season from the main group is too much. But the main group did expand this season. So, you got to cut those ranks down. So, no, I don't think 8 people is too many spread over half a season. Especially when you're dealing with, the most notorious comic book villain since the governor. So no, I think eight's a perfectly acceptable number.
Yeah, give them a chance. If they do, give them a chance to introduce more people. Instead of having some of the same bland characters that they've had for 4 seasons.
I personally don't think 8 is too much because of the group expansion. I think you just can't kill off, all the new people and say, okay, well, there it is. We expect the audience to have a deep connection and reaction to that. But I don't think 8's too much, and I'm still not convinced we're not going to see Negan to the last episode. I think Negan may come in, 2 or 3 to go. And if it's the last 2 and the last episode ends up being one of those 90-minute episodes, I think it definitely adds more room for more death. But yeah, so let me follow that up with... I know Fizz, this doesn't really pertain to you as you're not caught up, but for Adam and DP, if 8 die, who do you think are the 8 that die? Let's start with Adam.
That's a tough one to decide who's going to die. I would say the baby, or one of the babies, depending on how long it takes for the other one to get born.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Glenn, Sasha, hopefully the priest. Then
There are 4.
the blonde-haired woman's youngest kid.
Okay, 5. 3 more to go.
I see Carol dying.
Glenn and Carol in the same half season yet. That would get a reaction from the audience. Okay, 2 more to go.
There's a possibility of Morgan dying.
Yeah, could be. I think he sticks, though. I don't think they give him a character development episode this season and then kill him this season. That's 7.
And the one lesbian chick. I don't know. I don't remember her name.
The one that's been with the group since last season, or the one that just came in this season?
The one that was there last season.
Okay, so...
The one that was with the governor's group.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's your 8. DP, how about you?
Eric,
Okay.
Ron, Olivia, Gabrielle, Nicholas, Abraham.
Wait, Nicholas. Isn't Nicholas already dead?
I thought Nicholas was still alive. Okay, he's dead. We'll take him off.
Nicholas is the guy that blew his brains out by Glenn, right?
Is he dead? Or was it a dream?
Oh my god. Continuing.
I'm still thinking that was all just make-believe. I don't think anything bad happened to Glenn. Where was I at? Oh, Francine. Did I say her?
No, you didn't.
And then I think they're going to introduce a new character, and then they're going to kill her off. It'll be a female.
Well, that was quite the interesting list, shall we say? I'm gonna go with these picks. Rick's wannabe girlfriend and her entire family. So the 2 boys and her. So now we're at 3. Right there.
I'm not going to kill off a whole family.
I think so. I do. So all 3 of those, Jessie, I believe her name is, and her 2 kids bite the dust. So that puts us at 3. Sasha, 4. Julian from One Tree Hill, can't remember his name in the show, 5. And then I'm going to go with some names that might not please people. Father Gabriel, 6. Well, that might please people.
I think everybody would agree he needs to die.
This might not please people, though. 7, Glenn. 8, Daryl.
Have you gone mad?
I don't see Daryl dying no matter what anybody says.
I
see Rick dying before Daryl.
I see Carl dying before all of them.
have Negan take the bat to Carl's head. Oh, that might not make it to TV.
Sure.
That could be ugly.
You can have him swinging the bat with the barbed wire and then, pan off to a wall and see the blood splatter.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It is AMC. I mean, they can get away with that.
You show the swing, you cut to Rick, and then you cut back, and the damage is done.
I can't wait for Jeffrey Dean Morgan on this show. It's going to be awesome sauce. Awesome.
I can't believe you just said awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce. The sauce is awesome in her today. All right, well, moving on from The Walking Dead, let's touch base on the report that came out from multiple sources: Screen Rant, Deadline, Comic Book Movie News, and I believe Comic Book News, two different websites, comic book in it, is that the Punisher will be getting his own Netflix show. Is this a surprise to anybody? Anybody at all? Or was this almost expected after they announced the Punisher being a main player in Daredevil Season 2 and who he was?
As soon as they announced the cast of it, you kind of could have saw that one coming. Because it's not like they're not gonna hire a good actor like that for just a one-off thing.
Fizz?
I'm not shocked that it's happening, but I am shocked it's happening already. I figured that wouldn't
the
come
one thing we should, I was
after
going to say,
you actually got to see him. Just, to make sure the fans respond to him in the way they're expecting.
that's true. I mean, and they could still halt it, but from what I understand, is the show wouldn't debut till at least halfway through 2017. So, I mean, the show's by no means super close. But, I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to have a pretty positive response. It's not going to be Thomas Jane level, but
I'm sure it will as well, but it's just one of those odd decisions that, the fans have actually not seen it yet, which is why I think, wait for it to come out. I mean,
one of the sources claimed we're going to see the Punisher's origin story told through this season of Daredevil. So does that mean that Frank Castle's family's still alive when Daredevil launches? Or will his family already have been killed off and we're seeing pretty much the immediate reaction right after it happens?
Well, if it's an origin story, there'll probably be an event where it shows him getting killed or something.
DP? What makes more sense to you?
I don't know the Punisher's story, so I mean, I really can't comment.
How dare you?
I don't know. I know. I was never a fan. I couldn't get into Punisher.
How dare you?
breathe.
Don't get upset. That wasn't just my cup of tea at the time.
Breathe.
We are no longer friends. McMahon?
I think we'll get the story, but it'll be told through flashbacks. I don't think they're still alive, or he wouldn't be the Punisher yet. And you can't. I mean, I guess you could tell the story of their death through the course of the season, but
See, I think if you're telling the
just
story
don't
for the
see
death,
that
get it done
happening.
in the first episode. Have a report come across the news. Well, the family of
Frank Castle.
FBI officer Frank Castle has been murdered at such and such location. That could be what happens in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then Castle's back in the second, because he's not. I've seen 2 images of him on set, and he's not wearing any Punisher gear. That should be noted. Both times he's wearing this gray jacket with cargo pants, more or less. The one time it looks like he's in front of a supermarket, and the other time, well, let's just say Daredevil ends up on the wrong side of the fight. Punisher has him tied up with chains to a chimney.
He does that.
Yeah.
That's his style.
Yeah. Don't piss off Frank Castle. Bad things happen.
Don't let him think you're a bad guy, either.
As awesome as a Punisher show would be, I don't look at it as an automatic instant success just because it's a Punisher show. I still think you have to have strong casting on a Punisher show outside of Frank Castle. What do you think, Fizz?
Well, you absolutely need a good cast.
The Punisher almost always has some sort of sidekick too that doesn't travel with him, but is almost like his weapons guy, his info guy.
Mm-hmm. I certainly think the casting is obviously very important, especially in the villain category. That's what kind of set Punisher, not Punisher. That's what set Daredevil ahead of the rest with the villain. And Jessica Jones had a phenomenal villain.
I couldn't get into Jessica Jones. I tried, and
I haven't had a chance yet to sit down and watch it,
I didn't like it.
but I'm pretty confident I'm going to. You give me David Tennant as a villain, and it just immediately sparks my interest.
But yeah, so I mean,
But yeah, casting's always important, and thankfully Marvel seems to have got it right in the TV genre so far. There's no glaring bad castings to me in any of the series so far.
no, I would agree with that. The casting's been excellent. I definitely can't wait for the next season. It's going to be something else. Let's move on to Supernatural. Second half of season 11 trailer dropped today, and
Oh my.
we are you saying oh my to me, or do we have some breaking news?
No, I'm saying oh my to the trailer.
Oh yes. Actually, we do have some breaking news, though. This is more of a cinema chatter topic, but the trailer for the new Suicide Squad,
Indeed.
the only Suicide Squad, I guess, has just dropped.
About 15 minutes ago, just before we went on air.
Yes, so stay tuned for that, because we'll have a shortened edition of cinema chatter this week, much like the small screen's going to be shortened, and then don't forget we have a Royal Rumble preview, predictions, and fantasy show that will come up as well. Anyway, wasn't that trailer not bad? Totally badass.
It really was. There was a lot of moments in it that I just like, oh my. Getting to see the first look at the wrestling episode I thought was pretty sweet. Das Boot was one I didn't expect to see in the trailer. So I was very happy to see that. That's the World War II Russian submarine story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see all of these things. I thought I saw a couple familiar faces in the trailer, but after rewatching it, I don't think they're who I thought they were. But
So you're off the... You no longer...
It looked like him on first viewing. The way the camera kind of panned to him.
No, I'm not referring to that. I'm talking...
Oh, then I don't know which one you're talking to.
Satan escaping the cage.
Oh, that one? He's out of the cage.
You're sure?
At some point, he's out of the cage, because I'm fairly certain that the other mistaken identity scene, the guy I thought was Ezekiel, I'm fairly certain he is talking to Lucifer. And shown from behind. So I'm positive that Lucifer is going to get out of the pit, but he's going to maintain a capture by the boys in the bunker or some other means of trapping the devil.
Man.
It's going to epically blow up in their faces more than likely, but it's going to start off that way.
I can tell you one thing. I don't know if you could have a worse house guest. That'd be a pretty bad house guest.
You probably could. I imagine Abaddon wasn't a very good house guest.
No, that's another valid point.
There's been quite a few bad house guests throughout the course of the series.
For you sports fans out there, I realize this is a small screen temple, but if we have any Philadelphia Flyers fans out there listening in on the show, number one, what's wrong with you? And number two, Braden Shen apparently got absolutely destroyed in a fight with Dion Phaneuf and was, it says, very hurt. So
why would he be dropping gloves with Dion?
I don't know. Say what you want about Dion, but he can fight. End of story. Whether you want to admit it or not, you can hate on Dion.
He's a goon. What do you expect?
How dare you?
Dion,
he's a very expensive
only certified league goon now plays in Montreal. Thank you.
And will never play for Montreal.
But will still captain the Pacific team next weekend.
Yeah, well, I think that is the right call. I mean, if you don't want crap like that happening, NHL needs to get their shit together.
I think the NHL learned a very valuable lesson about its fan base. We are just as big a troll universe as any other sporting
Yep.
fan base.
Especially because the NHL. I won't lie. I am excited to see a 3-on-3 tournament. I like that concept. But for years, the NHL All-Star Game has been a laughingstock. So that's our 2 cents on the NHL All-Star Game.
I don't think that's going to change anytime in the near future, though.
Fizz, did you get the sense from the Supernatural trailer that maybe this might be the end?
No.
See, I got that vibe.
I think that's an intentional vibe just because it hasn't officially been picked up.
But then again,
Yeah.
none of the CW shows have been.
Right, but I mean, Supernatural has always played it a bit more that way in that at any time, really, a season finale could probably serve as a fairly suitable series finale. There's been a few cliffhangers where it's like, okay, well, you can't stop there. But there's definitely been several where, okay, you could stop there. So I wouldn't be overly surprised if that's not a bit the case here where, you know, it's a worst-case scenario preparation.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I still think that they've earned the right after being on for so long for them to announce at the beginning of a season, hey, this is our last season, tune in, you know, don't randomly just strip it away from people.
They've certainly earned that right, but at the same time, I really wouldn't put it past Supernatural to just drop it on you.
Yeah, that would be devastating, though, to not have it.
It would, but it's very much up their alley of
Oh, I
something
agree.
they could
I just
do.
don't want that to happen.
I don't either, but it's definitely something that, you know, if it did happen, would be like, well, they played us again. Especially in light of all of the, oh yeah, we'll be around forever talk, you know, not just from the cast, but, you know, from the execs and, you know, people calling the shots of the CW.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't disagree with your point on that whatsoever. Boys, when do all the Shonda shows come back?
February something. It's in the latter half of February, I believe. Somewhere in the teens.
I thought it was like the 16th.
That's in the teens.
So it's a while from now still.
It's still several weeks away, yeah.
And how about Walking Dead? Walking Dead's Valentine's Day, I believe.
Indeed.
So that's not too far away. What, 3 weeks?
Very nice way to spend your Valentine's Day.
So,
Go watch Deadpool and then come home and watch The Walking Dead.
absolutely. So there you have it for the Small Screen Temple this week. Not much going on. None of us have watched The Flash. That's why we're not talking about it tonight. We will give you a review of The Flash next week. And I don't believe Gotham was on yesterday. I thought it came back, but it...
I don't think it comes back until the 20th. I think it's still about 3 weeks away.
Yeah, see, I totally thought it was coming back yesterday, but I was wrong. Anywho, though.
The first time.
It sounded like you said the first time, but the not wasn't in there, which is awesome, so we'll keep that.
No, definitely said not the first time.
I might have talked over the not.
Okay,
Anywho,
well, how about not the first time?
Anywho,
Wait, you talk over something? No. Not you.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Gotham
DP.
returns back on the 29th of February.
Oh, God. Oh, it's way out then. Good God. I never would have guessed it was that far out. Anyway, though, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Small Screen Temple. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. Since we hardly took up any time, we are going to record the Cinema Chatter live on channel 1138, although it'll be short as well, and then we're going to get ready for our Royal Rumble special. So, from Adam, DP, and the Allard McMahon, I'm Sage.
Really?
Stay classy.
Thanks a lot, Sajusi.
See ya.